What's up? This is John from John Benchford Photography, and 2020 has thrown us a curveball to say the least. The wedding industry is currently in shambles, and a lot of weddings have been postponed or canceled. I'm sure a lot of you photographers and or starting photographers are wondering how you can still get work and practice or even second shoot weddings. So what I wanted to do today is give you all 5 tips for booking and photographing weddings in this current climate. Now, the biggest disclaimer here is make sure you're following all the rules for your state to keep everyone safe from COVID. The last thing you want to do is get sick or get anyone else sick during these times. So if you don't feel safe doing small, intimate weddings currently, please just don't. Don't put yourself out there if you don't feel like you can handle doing a wedding in this time and also being safe. Also, this month on Patreon, I'm going to be showing you all how I book my clients as well, going through the whole booking process. So make sure to check out the Patreon page for more information on that. But let's go ahead and get into these 5 tips for booking and photographing weddings. Starting out with probably one of the most important ones, which is not being tone deaf in your social and advertising posts. So for getting work as a photographer, posting on Instagram or advertising on Instagram and Facebook and other places is extremely important. But obviously here in 2020, there's been a lot going on and the climate is very, very different. Posting about love and fun times and weddings without being up on the news of what's currently happening is not going to do well for your business. Make sure you're staying up with current events. Make sure you're understanding what everyone is talking about, and make sure that if there is a tragic event or something of that sort happening on the news, to not just be out there posting all love and butterflies and daffodils and rainbows and stuff. Just keep an eye on the current climate and post accordingly. We do want to help our couples feel comfortable and happy about having their wedding still, but we also don't want to just be out there like everything's fine and dandy. The second tip I have for you all is to make sure you're serving your clients. Now, this is very vague, but there's a lot of things that it entails. But basically what it comes to is even though we're having small intimate weddings and they're not full-blown wedding days, make sure you're treating every wedding like you were shooting weddings in 2019 or 2018 or before that. Give your couples the best of their wedding day. Because yet again, the only thing they're going to have left after the wedding are their photos. I recently shot a small intimate wedding myself, and I treated that day the same as every other day. While I was being safe and distanced, I also was still able to get detail shots of people getting ready, and just the whole day and make it feel like a full wedding. Also, when it comes to booking your couples, make sure you're talking to them and being very transparent about what might happen if they have to postpone their wedding or reschedule or even cancel. Don't just go through your normal booking process and then just act like, okay, you booked me, you pay, and here we go. You need to make sure you talk about it, and by talking with them candidly about it, they're going to feel way more comfortable with you rather than you just being out there trying to take their money. Make sure you're taking a human approach to every wedding. I know this is your business and we do need to be profitable, but on the same end, these are people's lives and their weddings. There are times where you might have to refund someone everything. There are times where you may have to postpone the wedding and not get any additional money even though they're booking a wedding in 2021. You have to really feel these moments out and put your best foot forward. Remember, you can get your money now and that's cool, but if it hurts your business name and your brand, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. People are going to remember 2021, 22, 23. Oh yeah, John was really awesome with my friends and how he dealt with COVID. I know that he has my best interest in mind, so I'm going to book him. So just remember that. It may be hard to make the choice of, yes, I'll reschedule your wedding in 2021 and then not take any more money, basically losing a full wedding date for next year. But yet again, this is their wedding day. This is a big day for them. And they're already taking the hit with having to have a small wedding, which they didn't want to do in the first place. So really, have a heart for your couples, have a human approach to everything. And the third tip is be open to intimate and small weddings. Now, some of you all, if you've been doing weddings for a while, you may be used to booking weddings that are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. So taking a small 3 to 6 hour wedding is usually something you don't do, but I would say make sure to do it. Now, first, remember, at the end of the day, Booking a wedding in the first place is much better than booking nothing because you're being stingy and you want to get your $2,000 to $3,000 at 8 hours a wedding with a second photographer and so on and so forth. I'd rather serve my couple well and book a wedding for maybe $1,000, maybe $800, and do that on a Monday or a Friday or even a Saturday. As of right now, most states are only having events that are maybe 10 people, 25 people deep. You're gonna have to have small, intimate weddings. And if you want to survive in this time, you're gonna need to take them and not be so stingy about how much everything costs. Be flexible with your pricing. Drop your pricing. Just do whatever it takes to stay in there, stay working, serving your clients, and just not being stingy about it. This year is not going to be your most profitable year, and that's just what it is. And we need to all realize that and then do what we need to do to continue to thrive. Another big tip, and something you may not have actually thought about, is updating your contract. Now that we know we're dealing with COVID, updating your contract to reflect that is going to be a huge help going forward with your business. Yet again, don't just run everything the way it was before and think it's going to be fine. Add a new clause to your contract and then have your contract ran by a lawyer to make sure it's safe and kosher in your state. I know recently Honeybook actually shared some COVID clauses to all of its customers, which was absolutely amazing. So that's one place to reference. If you haven't checked out Honeybook, there's a link in the description below. You can get 50% off of your first year. And honestly, they've just really been a huge help to everyone during this pandemic time. Also, Legal Page is another great place to check out contracts and look at some updated COVID clauses. Seriously, make sure you do this. This is nothing to just skimp over. And last but not least, make sure you're practicing all the safety regulations. Yet again, like I said earlier, I've done a couple of small weddings during this time, and I have my mask, I'm keeping distance, I have hand sanitizer that I'm bringing with me. I'm doing all the stuff to stay safe and to keep my clients safe. The best way for keeping distance is make sure you're either shooting very wide shots with your wider lens or using a nice long lens so that you can stay away from your couples. Also, make sure to bring a mask with you at all times and wear it at all times, even when you're outdoors. I keep my hand sanitizer with me, and if I ever have a moment, I go and wash my hands just all the time. Also, when I get home, I disinfect my cameras because don't forget, you're taking that thing and you're lifting it to your eyes like all the time. Luckily, I have glasses, so that gives me a little safe spot before touching my eyes. But seriously, disinfect all your stuff the moment you get home. And don't forget not to handshake anyone or hug anybody, which is probably the hardest part on a wedding day, especially when you're meeting new people. You want to get up in there and just give them a handshake, but no touching. Give them a little wave, give them a little thumbs up or something. But make sure you're keeping distance from everyone and not touching too many people. Seriously, this is absolutely important if you want to still be able to shoot weddings during this time. So those are my 5 tips for booking and also photographing weddings during our global pandemic. Obviously, make sure you're staying safe. And if you don't feel comfortable doing a wedding, don't take it and don't book it. I know times are hard for everyone right now, and I really do wish the best for everybody, but make sure you're following the rules and staying safe. If these tips were helpful for you or you have any other tips, please leave them in the comments below so we can all help each other during this time. And again, definitely check out my Patreon page where I'm going to be talking about booking clients and the whole process. And don't forget, now on Patreon, when you sign up for the content team, you also get a free copy of my natural fills preset. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I wish you all the best, and don't get too discouraged this year. We're gonna get through it, and we're all gonna thrive. Thanks again for subscribing and watching, and I'll check you all out next time. All right,